In the golden age of aviation, Pan Am was not just an airline, it was a symbol of luxury and innovation. As the sun set over a bustling airport, a sleek Pan Am jet roared into the sky, carrying dreams of a limitless future. Yet, beneath its polished facade, a storm was brewing, threatening to ground the high-flying empire. The year is 1927. A young entrepreneur named Juan Trippe is sketching his vision on a napkin. His goal, to conquer the skies and connect the world. This moment marks the birth of Pan American Airways, destined to become a titan in aviation history. But with dreams this big, risks are equally monumental. As the world recovers from the Great War, the aviation industry is poised for unprecedented growth. In a bustling New York office, executives plan routes that would span continents. The air is thick with ambition, fueled by the belief that the sky is not the limit, but just the beginning. Pan Am unveils its first transatlantic route. The public is captivated by the promise of luxury, with images of elegant flight attendants serving champagne. In a glamorous terminal, passengers board the Clipper, unaware that they are part of a grand experiment in global travel. The world watches in awe as Pan Am's fleet expands. From the bustling streets of New York to the serene beaches of the Caribbean, their reach seems endless. Yet, in the shadows, competitors are rising, eager to claim their piece of the sky. A boardroom meeting is underway. Executives discuss the future with confident smiles, convinced that Pan Am's dominance is unassailable. But outside, the world is changing, and the whispers of war begin to cloud the horizon. The seeds of overreach are sown. As World War II erupts, Pan Am's planes are commandeered for military use. In a dimly lit hangar, technicians retrofit civilian aircraft for war. The empire adapts to survive, but its peacetime glory fades, overshadowed by the harsh demands of conflict. The war ends, and Pan Am reemerges into a world hungry for peace and prosperity. In gleaming airports, passengers clutch their tickets to freedom. But the airline's ambitious post-war expansion strains its resources, setting the stage for future turmoil. With the introduction of jets, a new era dawns. Pan Am's Boeing 707 soars above the clouds, redefining speed and comfort. Crowds gather to witness the pinnacle of aviation technology. Yet, behind the scenes, costs escalate, and the empire's foundation begins to crack. In lavish marketing campaigns, Pan Am sells the dream of global travel. Billboards and magazines depict exotic destinations, luring customers with visions of paradise. But the reality is far more complex, as financial pressures mount behind the vibrant facade. A young stewardess adjusts her uniform in front of a mirror, embodying the glamour and sophistication Pan Am promises. As she steps into the cabin, she carries the weight of an entire brand on her shoulders, unaware of the corporate turbulence brewing above. Amidst the era's social upheaval, Pan Am's offices buzz with activity. Executives scramble to stay ahead of changing consumer preferences. The pressure to innovate is relentless, but internally, cracks in the empire's strategy begin to surface. The oil crisis of the 1970s hits with the force of a hurricane. In a packed boardroom, anxious executives watch fuel prices spike. The cost of flying skyrockets, and Pan Am's once unshakable confidence begins to erode under the weight of economic reality. In a small airport lounge, travelers peer at departure boards, their flights delayed by fuel shortages. Discontent murmurs ripple through the crowd, foreshadowing the turbulence facing Pan Am as it struggles to keep its aircraft aloft. Pan Am's financial troubles deepen as competitors adapt more swiftly to the changing landscape. In a dimly lit corridor, a solitary figure flips through pages of declining revenue reports, the numbers a stark reminder of the empire's waning power. The deregulation of the airline industry unravels the established order. In a chaotic courtroom, legal teams argue over new competitive freedoms. For Pan Am, deregulation is both a blessing and a curse, offering opportunities but also exposing vulnerabilities. Desperate to regain its footing, Pan Am embarks on a series of costly mergers and acquisitions. In a plush conference room, executives shake hands over deals that promise salvation but deliver further complications. The Empire's reach extends beyond its grasp. In kitchens and living rooms, Pan Am's loyal employees gather, their conversations tinged with uncertainty. They swap stories of past glories, hoping for a return to form, even as the company's financial health deteriorates. An empire is only as strong as its foundation. A turbulent board meeting unfolds as factions form, each with its own vision for survival. Voices raise, papers fly, and unity crumbles under the weight of differing strategies. The boardroom has become a battleground, showcasing the chaos within. Faced with mounting debts, Pan Am sells its iconic Manhattan skyscraper. The building's silhouette, once a symbol of success, now looms as a reminder of what has been sacrificed. The Empire's glory days are slipping further from reach. In a bustling newsroom, reporters type furiously, documenting Pan Am's public struggles. Headlines scream of layoffs, closures, and losses. The media spotlight becomes both a mirror and a magnifier, reflecting the airline's rapid descent. As Pan Am's planes sit idle on deserted runways, mechanics perform maintenance on aircraft that may never take to the skies again. The hum of engines, once symbolizing progress, now echoes as a mournful dirge. The Empire is grounded. In a quiet boardroom, surviving executives deliberate the final strategies to stave off bankruptcy. The atmosphere is heavy with resignation as bold solutions elude the Empire's architects. Desperation lingers, yet so does a faint glimmer of hope. Passengers in departure lounges watch as news of Pan Am's bankruptcy announcement flashes on screens. Disbelief and nostalgia mix as the public witnesses the end of an era. The Empire's once unyielding promise has finally come undone. In a storied airline hangar, an auctioneer's voice echoes, selling off the remaining assets of a fallen giant. Each piece, from aircraft seats to uniforms, represents a fragment of history, an empire dismantled piece by piece. The final flight of a Pan Am Clipper takes to the skies, carrying with it the weight of an era's end. Pilots, seasoned and somber, navigate the route with reverence, their eyes on the horizon, yet their hearts in the past. In a dimly lit bar, former Pan Am employees gather, raising glasses in bittersweet remembrance. Each toast echoes with stories of triumph and trials, memories of a time when the sky was theirs. The Empire's legacy lives on in their tales. Historians pen the chronicles of Pan Am, dissecting the ambitious decisions and fatal missteps. In a cluttered office, stacks of documents and photographs tell a story of grandeur and folly, a legacy both admired and admonished. In classrooms and lecture halls, business students analyze Pan Am's rise and fall. Professors challenge them to learn from the Empire's journey, to understand the perils of unchecked ambition. It becomes a cautionary tale, a lesson in humility. On a bustling production set, a director shouts cues as actors reenact key moments from Pan Am's history for a new documentary. The stories are brought to life, a vivid retelling of a saga that captured the world's imagination. As the digital age ushers in new airlines, Pan Am's iconic logo is resurrected in retro merchandise. In a trendy boutique, shoppers sift through memorabilia, enamored by the nostalgia of an era they never knew. The brand refuses to fade. A new generation of aviation enthusiasts gather at air shows, paying homage to Pan Am's legacy. The roar of vintage engines fills the air, as crowds marvel at the aircraft that once embodied the pinnacle of flight. Inspiration from the past fuels the future. In an art gallery, an exhibit dedicated to Pan Am captures the airline's glamorous heyday. Paintings and photographs chronicle its journey, immortalizing the Empire's impact on culture and travel. It stands as a testament to human ambition. The aviation sector evolves with new giants taking to the skies. In bustling airports, the echoes of Pan Am's influence linger, reminding travelers of the Empire that once defined global air travel. Though the airline has vanished, its spirit endures. In corporate boardrooms, leaders scrutinize the lessons of Pan Am, eager to avoid its fate. Strategy sessions are filled with cautious optimism, as companies strive for innovation without succumbing to the pitfalls of hubris. The aviation industry is more interconnected than ever, yet the echoes of Pan Am's ambition whisper in its wings. In a bustling control tower, air traffic controllers manage the complex dance of flights. Their work, a tribute to the trail Pan Am blazed. A family flipping through vacation photographs stumbles upon an old Pan Am ticket stub. The faded paper stirs stories of past travels and adventures, a tangible reminder of a time when the airline ruled the skies. In the heart of Silicon Valley, tech innovators draw parallels between Pan Am's rise and their own meteoric journeys. Over coffee, they debate the balance between ambition and caution, mindful of the empire's costly lessons. As the world leans into a future of space travel, Pan Am's legacy as a pioneer and a warning looms large. In a futuristic launch pad, rockets prepare for liftoff, echoing the ambitious spirit of exploration that once defined the skies. Pan Am's story concludes with the Empire Law, the law of illusionary invincibility. When ambition outpaces reality, even the greatest can fall. As the sun sets over the horizon, the lesson remains eternal. Power, untempered by humility, is always fleeting.